from LeBron and a bunch of open looks for you guys that didn't go down. Did this game kind of come down to misses and makes, or what did you see in that regard?
To a degree, it always does. But I thought in the first half, they were a little bit too comfortable. We gave up 71 points in the first half. It wasn't all the shot making. I thought they were in a pretty good groove and rhythm. They were ready to play. They were sharp. Give them credit. And then I thought our offense stalled for periods in the second quarter, and we lost that quarter by 15 and won the rest of the game. So I think the lesson is, if you can keep the game in a manageable spot, you can withstand a cold streak of shooting. Obviously, we got great shots coming out of halftime that didn't fall, but instead of being down 16 or 18, you're down 10. The game's still within reach. So that was kind of the story of the game, I thought.
I know you're forcing turnovers is a symptom, not a cause of your defense. You didn't do that at a high level tonight. Was there anything that they were doing offensively that prevented you guys from being as disruptive as you often are?
Well, they get to their spots. They make you deal with their matchups, and so they're not flying the ball all around the floor. They're kind of just punching the ball to where they want to get it, forcing us to deal with that, which is a good strategy for them because they have really, really strong personnel. But I just didn't think our disruption, our activity, and physicality, all the stuff that we kind of hang our hat on, I didn't think that was there in the first half especially. We got it going in the second half, but obviously we were playing from behind.
I'm curious because we talked about the shot making. At a certain point, Brian's getting and ones. Austin has that 4-point play. Ruiz hitting, moving middies. Just how much of that, because it did get probably in control at some point, but how much of that did you feel was maybe solvable?
I mean, obviously there's a part that's not, and they were sharp tonight. They were the better team clearly for the 48 minutes of the game. They were ready to play. We tip our hat to them for that. But we also want to, focus on the stuff in the game that's controllable. And when you put a team that's that caliber of shot making in rhythm, or you allow them to get to a rhythm, that's when that stuff starts to fall. And it's one thing if you're kind of touching them up and they're still making those shots, but I didn't think we had our fastball there defensively in the first half. And I thought that contributed to it to a degree. At least that's what we want our takeaway to be, so that we're looking in the mirror and not just kind of like, saying it's a make or miss league or something like that.
Yeah, I know Cason's kind of the guy at this point that slots in when the starter's missing, but with a team as big and as smart as that, just how much do you maybe weigh and value, slotting a guy in like Kenrich, maybe in Cason slots or something?
I mean, not enough obviously to do it, but I thought Cason's a really good defender. He can guard up. Dort can guard up. We have confidence in those guys, and we should have some advantages as well by playing like that. But credit LA. Obviously, they're the better team tonight.
AD said prior to the game that this was a must-win, and Darvin backed him up on that. They just felt like vibe-wise they really needed it.
Yep.
When a team as seasoned as they are, that's played as much as they have, has that kind of mentality, how much is there a challenge to just match what they can bring in a game they feel like they have?
Yeah, that was the challenge tonight. We knew what it was, and so did they. And credit them. I mean, they were the better team. They played. They backed that up tonight. They played like the more desperate team, and that's a battle-tested team that knows what they're doing. So it was a great experience for us to be in that. There's plenty of lessons we can draw from it, and that's what you want. You want to be, taking on the biggest challenges of competition. That's how you learn about yourselves, and it's how you learn about how to navigate an 82-game season.
When you guys got it to 8, it seemed like from there it was just kind of LeBron doing LeBron things. Were there things that you guys didn't do there to take some away, or was it just kind of him? He made some difficult shots.
Yeah, those ones were tough, but credit him. Obviously, we've seen that movie before. He was on one tonight. He was really, really good. Obviously, he speaks for himself, but that was the difference at the end of the game.
You mentioned how you guys didn't have it all there defensively in the first half. How much do you think that was trying to adjust to the unorthodox lineup Lakers throughout there, if any?
No, I just thought, at the end of the day, they came out like a team that was desperate for a win. I didn't think we came out like poor or sloppy or soft or anything like that, but we just didn't amp it up to the level that we needed to in that first half especially, and we allowed them to kind of get to a groove, and I thought that was really the game right there. So it's a good lesson for us. When we play, we're going to play a lot of teams that are going to come in here ready to throw their fastball, and we need to, you know, match that and exceed it.
And then 41 threes and 41 shots in the paint. I know you guys had 52 points there, but do you feel like you guys shied away a little bit, or is it just what the game was giving you guys?
It's kind of what the game was giving us. You know, I thought we did a good job of penetrating. A lot of our threes were open. That obviously could have changed things, but we just don't want to be a team that's reliant on the most variant, you know, part of basketball. We want to be a team that takes pride in doing the things that we can rely on every single night. And then on the nights where those shots go in, obviously we have talented players. Like, we're gonna have plenty of nights where the shots do fall. Then you're extending leads, but you know, you got to build your foundation with something other than just shot making.
With Daigneault going to the bench, LeBron kind of runs point. Did that change anything for you there? Expected, I guess.
No, I thought that was, you know, that move, my interpretation of it was a physicality move to get Vanderbilt out there defensively on the glass, offensive glass, and they were going to play kind of power ball at that point with that lineup. You know, they were going to try to go right at the front of the rim, and that's what they did. You know, I thought James and Davis, you know, they played through those guys tonight. Those guys were at the front of the rim on us. They made us deal with them. Like I said, give them a lot of credit. They were sharp.
You kind of answered, did you like the shots you were getting? Because you saw really hot from three, and then I think you were like 7 of the last 35 you made. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, most of the game, I thought. You know, I thought we had in the second quarter a little bit. We had lapses where we settled a little and we weren't as stubborn as we need to be in terms of driving the ball and kind of imposing our style, and then letting the chips fall where they may. But I thought the majority of the game we did that, and you know, obviously missed shots tonight.
Mark, when you talk about defense, a lot of times you've mentioned with great players, you can't give them the same look twice. You got to switch it up. With a guy like LeBron, who's been around and has seen essentially every coverage you can throw out, what's the process like of game planning for a guy like that?
Similar, you know, you got to make him at least think on his toes. You can't throw the same thing every single time. Can't be predictable. I thought the zone was good for us. We were able to disrupt some rhythm there in the fourth by zoning them, and that was good. That helped us get back in the game a little bit. But I mean, he's obviously who he is for a reason. He's a great player.
Anybody else? Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.